And I'm getting ready to admit everyone now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Leicester National's careers presentation. I see we already have some of you in the audience. Do have a slide up here. We're kind of curious why you're here today, what you're hoping to learn. So feel free to scan that QR code there that's on screen, or there is a link in the chat for you to also provide that information. And we're just going to go ahead and give everybody a few minutes to show up because it is the noon hour, at least on the Pacific. In Pacific time, it's the noon hour. It might be like, 3 p.m. or so on the East Coast if you're from there. Or welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Leicester National Careers presentation. You'll see a slide here for you. Go ahead and scan that QR code and let us know why you're here today. What are you hoping to learn? We're going to go ahead and give everybody a few minutes. It is the right around noon to 3, depending on where you're joining us from. There's also a link in the chat if you're joining us from your phone and you can't scan that QR code. Feel free to go ahead and use the link in the chat box that we've included for you to provide your responses.
All right, looks like somebody wants to learn more about Leicester and any positions that will interest them. And one person is looking for contracting opportunities for MBEs in New York. For opportunities in Atlanta. That's a good spot to be these days.
Atlanta.
Yes.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. We're giving everybody a few minutes to join, but in the meantime, there is our first slide up here today. We're curious why you're here and what you're hoping to learn. We do have a QR code there for you to use if you want to scan that with your phone, and if you're joining us from your phone, there is a link in the chat box that you can go ahead and click on to provide your responses. Somebody got an invitation and was curious. Well, that's a really good reason. Hopefully we'll provide some fun information for you today that is interesting for you. More career opportunities. Project management, construction management space. PM work, looks like. Learn more about the firm and the opportunities. Excellent, excellent. Hey, more Atlanta. D, more Atlanta. New York area, awesome. Project management. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today for the Leicester National Careers presentation. We are giving everybody just a couple more minutes to hop on. We're super excited that you decided to join us today. There is a slide up here. We're curious why you're here today and what you're hoping to learn. Feel free to go ahead and scan that QR code with your phone. And if you're joining us from your phone, there is a link in the chat. It's probably one of the first messages in the chat box. If you wanted to click on that and provide your response that way, that would work. Oh no, I'm sorry, whoever recently got laid off. Really sorry to hear that. Hopefully we can provide some great information for you. Now we've got Dallas, career opportunities in Dallas. Okay.
All right, looks like somebody else got invited to the Career Leicester National, interested in risk management and lead control programs.
Awesome, awesome.
Somebody else is looking for large-scale project opportunities nationwide. We've certainly got that.
Okay. Future career growth. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we're about 5 minutes in, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for your responses, everybody. We'll continue letting people in throughout the presentation, but we do thank you for joining us. So before we get going, you probably want to know a little bit about your speakers. I do want to let you know that we are all working, myself, Chuck, and Dee here presenting to you. We're all working on multiple monitors, so we're going to try to look where we think you might see our eyes, but if we're looking away, we promise we're not multitasking. We are totally focused on you in this presentation. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's go ahead and start with introducing our speakers here and our very special guest speaker, Oatis.
Hello, everyone, and again, welcome. And Amber and Chuck, thank you for inviting me as your guest speaker today. My name is Demetrius. Everyone calls me D. I'm an Associate Vice President of East Region Operations here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been a proud member of the Luster family now for almost 8 years. Fantastic company. Here's an interesting fact about me. In my former career, I was actually paid to jump from perfectly good aircraft while in flight. And thank goodness there were good trainers in the Army, as I was able to repeat that process with good parachuting and good parachute landing falls.
I don't know that I'd be able to jump out of a perfectly good plane, Dee, but
Nope.
that's pretty cool. Thanks so much. My name is Amber Jeffries. I am the Talent Acquisition Manager here at Leicester National. I've been recruiting since about the mid-90s when we used a phone book to do what they call dial for dollars. I don't know if any of y'all recall anything like that. With recruiting and talent acquisition, you either love it or hate it. And I'm one of the lucky ones that actually gets to do what I love every day and learned about my passion pretty early on. And I get to do that here at Leicester. A fun fact about me, I'm an avid gamer, believe it or not, and my favorites are Once Human and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. In fact, I love Call of Duty so much that I actually have the Modern Warfare 3 Special Edition Jeep. So yeah, I'm a nerd.
Awesome. Thanks, Amber. Hey, everyone. My name is Chuck Lovick, and I'm the Talent Acquisition Specialist at Leicester National. I've been in talent acquisition for well over 20 years. And like Amber, I've used some antiquated technology to get our job done, primarily a fax machine, if anybody recalls what those are. A fun fact for me is I've been to about 17 different cities and villages in Alaska.
Awesome. What was your favorite in Alaska, Chuck?
Nome, Alaska was a very interesting town, very interesting. But Kenai Peninsula and Homer equally as exciting to be there.
Nice, nice, awesome. Before we get going, I was hoping to cover a few housekeeping items. Due to the number of folks that are actually registered for the event today, mics and cameras have been disabled for the presentation. If you have a question, please go ahead and type in the chat box and we're going to answer it just as soon as we can. If we know your question is going to be answered by information we're sharing at a later point in the presentation, we're going to go ahead and hold it. If you do have any trouble using the chat box, you can use the on-screen option to raise your hand, and we'll call on you directly and turn your mic on. Both the chat box and the raise hand features can be found in your meeting controls. I don't have a Samsung or an Android, but I do have an iPhone, and you can find the chat or raise hand feature by touching the screen on your phone, which brings up the menu, and you see the 3 dots. You click on those 3 dots and it should show you your meeting controls there. Due to time constraints, we're not going to be answering questions about individual status in the application process or specific questions individual to a particular position. If you do have those questions, we do want to answer those for you, so feel free to email those to hiring@luster.com. We're going to be providing that email address later in the presentation as well. But just a few notes as we get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and briefly walk through our agenda for today so you kind of know what to expect. We're going to start with an overview of Luster, provide a brief introduction of who we are, our history, kind of what sets us apart as an organization, talk about the diverse services that we offer, the industries we specialize in, highlighted organizations we work with, collaborative work that we've done, examples of key projects, things like that. But we're also going to talk a little bit about Luster's culture because we do get a lot of those questions. We want to tell you what it's like to work here, what Luster values, what we're all about, and why you really want to work here. We're going to talk about our benefits package. We're going to hear from team members about why they love working here. And then we're going to talk about some of the types of jobs that we fill, what we look for in our candidate pool, and talk about I guess not talk about, but finally conclude with question and answer there towards the end. And we're going to be turning mics on again during that session, as well as cams, so that we can interact with you directly. But again, very interactive presentation, so feel free to raise your hand or put a question in a chat box. We're all going to try to monitor that as best we can. Okay. All right, Mr. D, you want to tell us a little bit about Luster?
Great. Yes, thank you, Amber. So as you can see on this slide, we were founded in 1990 by Father Orville Luster and his son, Robert Luster. Luster has provided professional services and solutions across the United States. And now Luster is embracing its 3rd generation of family leadership, with Robert's children, Emily, John, and Sarah, transitioning into leadership roles with the company. It's very exciting. We are a minority-owned small business that is ISO 9001 at 2015 certified. Our services include strategic consulting, program, project, and construction management. Our offices and projects across the country, Luster can quickly rise to our clients' needs to live by the motto, you have challenges, we have solutions. Let's talk a little bit about the Luster values. As Amber mentioned earlier, there are 3 core values that really guide how we conduct business here at Luster. Client focus means our business thrives only when our clients do. We listen to both their voiced goals and the needs left unsaid, then rally to our team's expertise to deliver real, measurable value on every program and project. Professional integrity means leading with honesty, accountability, respect, and transparency inside our teams and with every client. We see it as the foundation on which long-term success is built. Social responsibility is the understanding that even though we are a for-profit company, we're also grounded in community. Communities of employees, neighborhoods, industries, and small businesses, and so many more. We can consider ourselves to be active members of every community we touch, both within our workforce and in the neighborhoods where we operate. We're committed to making a positive impact in every one of them. Okay, as you can see listed on this slide are many of the services that Luster provides. Luster offers a wide range of services designated to address the unique needs of our clients across the various industries. I'm going to talk about a few of them, but our IT guru, Charles, is placing a link in the chat to our website, and there you'll find more details about the services Luster provides. So please take a look there. But I'd like to highlight a couple of them. If we go down to the third bullet point there, you'll see quality management. That's making sure that the highest of standards and compliance for every project is maintained throughout execution. Project and construction management is delivering end-to-end support from planning through construction to meet our clients' needs. And then lastly, I want to touch on the one at the bottom there, environmental services. This addresses environmental challenges with sustainable solutions. Our office locations. If you look at that map there, you can see that we have a strong presence across the entire United States. Well, our headquarters there in California, our headquarters is based in Mill Valley, California, just 10 minutes north of San Francisco. We also have offices in Oakland, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, Denver, Houston, and of course, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and New York. In addition to these physical locations, we offer flexibility for certain positions, allowing team members to work fully remotely from wherever they are located in the United States. Our offices are strategically positioned near major project sites, allowing us to provide hands-on support where it's needed most. Whether on-site or remote, our teams work seamlessly to deliver the highest level of service to our clients.
All right, we'd like.
Think you're silenced there, Amber?
Oops, I'm sorry. Thank you. I was trying to mute to be respectful to you, Dee, while you were talking. Thank you for letting me know that. So we do have a new slide up here with a QR code. We're curious where y'all are joining us from today. Just a quick poll. If you are using your phone, again, we're going to put a link. Thanks, Charles. We have a link in the chat there for you to respond. You can go ahead and click on that link and provide your answer that way, and it'll populate the chart there on our screen. Space Coast, Florida. Nice. I love that graphic. Thank you. That's funny.
I was wondering where the Space Coast was.
Mill Valley, Atlanta, New York. All one person. Wow. Travels.
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake.
Driven through there a number of times.
Dallas. All right.
Atlantic, Florida on the Space Coast. Albany, New York.
Albany, yeah. Houston.
That's getting up there.
Long Island.
Somebody from California, Merced.
Yeah.
And Coarse Gold, California.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
We have a very diverse group of locations here. That's awesome. That's great.
Florida and Georgia are well represented, though, it looks like.
All right.
Very cool. Right. Okay, let's sorry, Amber.
Chuck, did you want to take it? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of the service sectors that we work within. So this slide here kind of gives you an idea. As you may know, Luster provides services throughout many sectors and industries. So this is just a sample of areas in which we provide our expertise. Throughout the rest of the presentation, you'll see examples of these in our projects and services. But as you can see, aviation, roads and bridges, transit, federal government, water, wastewater, these are very large civil engineering and infrastructure projects, which is at the heart of what Luster does. Some of the clients that we work for, we partner with a number of architectural and engineering firms, including Jacobs, GDOT, AECOM. You may have heard of some of these. Some state and government authorities, the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, the General Services Administration, GDOT, Georgia Department of Transportation, MARTA in Atlanta as well. We partner with Fluor, HNTB, and some of these other companies with joint ventures throughout some of our projects. Pretty cool stuff. These are some big companies, working on some big important projects.
Awesome. Thanks, Chuck. So
Sure.
I would like to highlight two.
I think you're muted again, Amber.
I thought I clicked it. Oh my goodness. I need to get better at that. Thank you again for letting me know. I'd like to highlight two of our service lines, our strategic consulting services line of business, as well as our environmental consulting line of business. So strategic consulting services we launched actually in 2022, and it's going strong. And it's a little bit different from project management because it looks at the tactical level of projects. It looks above the tactical level of projects to ensure the strategy, structure, and systems in place are all driving success for our projects. One example of this type of work is conducting gap analyses, where we basically look at where the client is today, where they want to be in the future, and then we help them build a plan of action to get them there. But we've also worked with multiple agencies to do other things and provide other services like building supplier diversity and financial process improvement programs, implementing quality management systems and developing quality management plans, conducting workshops, on-the-job trainings with their staff, supporting strategy development, and so much more. Our environmental consulting line of business was launched in 2023, and it's similar to strategic consulting, but it's focused on how construction projects impact the environment around us. So some of the services we provide here include NEPA planning, conducting site assessments, and helping agencies with permitting and construction compliance. Our environmental consulting team also conducts workshops and lunch and learns with our clients to train their teams in these activities as well. So what types of projects have we worked on? After 35 years in business, there are a lot to choose from. So this is just a small sample of some of the projects that we have touched. We've got the NASA Johnson Space Control Facilities Modernization Program, and that was in Texas. There we worked on that program for about 8 years, and we were primarily handling construction management. At the San Francisco International Airport, we had staff fully integrated into their $2.4 billion master plan, and that was providing program and construction management services during the construction phase. For Alameda County, you see that as AC Transit BRT there, that lovely picture. The Alameda County BRT project in Oakland, we led community outreach initiatives as they were going through their project. At Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, we are a joint venture partner for that 16-year, $6.8 billion expansion program. And then for the TxDOT toll lanes project, we were providing program management and risk assessment support throughout the life of the project. So that's just kind of an example of a few projects that we've worked on. Again, 35 years in business, lots to choose from. But let's shift discussion over to some of our active projects. At JFK International Airport, we provide program and construction management services. We've also partnered with public agencies like, again, Alameda County Public Works on business and community outreach, and with MARTA in Atlanta, providing DBE compliance and diversity consulting. We're also working on phase 2 of the San Francisco Transbay Portal project, which extends Caltrain service from 4th and King, ultimately bringing the high-speed rail system to Salesforce Transit Center into the heart of downtown San Francisco, thereby connecting 11 different transit systems. Dee, did you want to talk a little bit more about California High-Speed Rail and Georgia Department of Transportation?
Thank you, Amber. Absolutely. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting infrastructure projects currently underway in the United States, the California High-Speed Rail. Now, this transformative project will connect major regions of the state of California, our largest state, contributing to the economic development and a cleaner environment. It will create jobs while preserving agricultural and protected lands. Luster National is proud to serve as a subcontractor to the AECOM Fluor joint venture on the program delivery services contract for this monumental project. Our contributions include providing senior schedulers, strategic consulting, even program management. Our team has been actively engaged since October 22 in Fresno, Sacramento, and even remote locations around the state, with key roles in chief administrative officer, project director, and quality manager, and many, many more. One of our significant achievements during this project has been helping outline, draft, and publish a 162-page business plan. This plan lays out the key milestones and strategic vision to guide progress and ensure success. It's incredibly rewarding to see this long discussed project finally coming into fruition. This high-speed rail will offer a faster, more efficient way to travel across the state while making a lasting impact on how Californians connect with one another.
Awesome. Hey, Dee, thanks for that. I also wanted to mention that our 2025 summer internship program has just started, and we do have 2 interns that started with us I think at the end of May on the California High-Speed Rail program, and I think they might be with us today. So if you are Kelly and Ro, we are so happy that you have participated in our internship program, and hopefully you continue having fun throughout the summer.
That's a great picture. So let's talk about in Georgia, since we've got quite a few people interested in what's happening in Georgia. In Georgia, we're proud to be part of the Georgia Department of Transportation's Major Mobility Investment Program, or MMIP as it's called. This program involves 11 capital improvement projects and numerous design-build projects ranging from interchange reconstruction and interchange widening to advanced mobility projects like the major express lanes that are going on. Anybody here in the Metro Atlanta can tell you it is quite busy out there on our interstates. Luster National serves as a subcontractor to HNTB on the program management contract. We supply construction, engineering, and inspection services for multiple roads and bridges throughout the entire state of Georgia, and I can tell you, I've been to all of them. One team supports MMIP across a range of critical areas, including quality management, DBE program analysis, environmental compliance, procurement, professional training, and client stakeholder alignment services. We've also been involved with the development of post-let implementation guidelines. This is the largest program management contract that we're currently working on, with over 25 Luster employees dedicated to supporting MMIP. It is a testament to our capability to handle large, high-impact projects and deliver results that truly make a difference for the state of Georgia. Just be patient, it's coming.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm going to jump in again. That internship program I just mentioned, we have 2 other interns that started with us on the GDOT MMIP program at the end of May, and that would be Joseph and Roe. Again, they might be with us today, and if you are, we're so excited to have you working with us. Thank you so much for being a part of our internship program.
All right, thanks, Dee and Amber. We're going to take a slight shift and start talking about the heart of Lester's success. It's really our employees. We recognize that each team member is not only a professional, but an individual with diverse roles and responsibilities both within and outside of the workplace. Our culture reflects this understanding, fostering an environment where individuals are supported holistically, both personally, professionally, and creatively. At Lester, that means nurturing an environment where everyone can thrive, bring their full identity, experiences, and ideas to the table, which ultimately leads to more innovative solutions and stronger, more cohesive teams. Our commitment to diversity and inclusion is not just a statement, but we practice this. We actively encourage our team members to contribute their unique perspectives, which in turn drives us to achieve greater results. Our projects across sectors such as roads, bridges, transit, rail, aviation, and more are successful because of the diverse experiences, expertise, and viewpoints that each team member brings. So we're not just about getting the job done. It's about creating an environment where people feel safe, supported, and challenged to reach new heights. Our leadership is dedicated to providing opportunities for growth in an environment that fosters achievement, collaboration, and innovation. So ultimately, we seek team members who are big thinkers, achievers, and self-starters, those who are always ready to take on the next challenge and say, let's make it happen. But don't just take our word for it. Here are a few of our team members sharing their thoughts. It's coming, trust me. There we go.
I'm Ali Khan Manji. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Consulting at Luster National. I'm also responsible for all the projects in the New York, New Jersey area. I like working for Luster because it's a family business and they make you feel like family. You really feel like home working here.
After a full career at GDOT, I was blessed to be able to have this role at Luster where I can balance my home life and work, stay connected in the industry. I feel respected and appreciated by our teammates.
The open arms and love I've received coming to Luster. I don't think there's many companies that give you that family approach and feel. And the moment I signed and joined, I feel like family. It's been an amazing experience here so far.
My favorite part about working at Luster is I get to use my environmental experience and I get to work with a great group of people with a wide breadth and depth of expertise. What I like most about the work we do here is the impact that it has on the future. We work on large investment projects that really benefit the people. I think what makes our team culture unique is the diversity of people we have at Luster and the depth and breadth of experience we have in our people.
One of the things that I love about Luster, that it gives you all the full benefits and opportunities of growth. It gives you all the tools to be successful in the workplace. And most of all, it's a positive, collaborative environment.
Right. Very good audio. One of the things at Luster we're very passionate about is communication and openness. Luster basically equals openness, communication, and let's have some fun together. We've got a number of avenues we take to communicate to employees and have employees communicate with each other. One of those is our COPs. It's a community of practice where members of a certain job function can showcase the details of their work and some of the projects they're working on with the rest of the company. We also have a virtual water cooler through MS Teams, so it's just how it sounds. It's a virtual water cooler. Employees can share fun facts, ask questions, share vacation photos or stories, or discuss any other topic they like. We also have a monthly wellness presentation done by Sarah Luster, who is our resident Master of Science in Nursing, registered nurse, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and a certified healthcare counselor. Sarah delivers informative presentations every month on a number of health and wellness topics. We also have the Luster Weekly email, which keeps employees informed of new hires, anniversaries, upcoming conferences, and a whole host of other announcements and updates. We also have our semi-annual careers presentation. That's what we're doing right here. And this helps keep potential and current candidates updated on the company and the opportunities. Last but not least, we have our annual holiday party where employees can get together and celebrate each other in the holiday season. And it's a great chance to catch up and talk to and meet people in person. So even though we do have a lot of remote employees, these are ways that Luster communicates with each other and it keeps it collaborative and very open.
Great, thanks, Chuck. I also wanted to throw in there that we do other events throughout the year too. So, for example, sometimes even though we're a distributed group, so some of us are in Seattle, some are in California, New York, Texas, Georgia. Even though we're kind of scattered, we do events like beach cleanup, things like that, where we still work together across the nation, same day, same time, same effort, same focus, to do fun things like that together as much as we can. So that's kind of cool too, something else that we do there. One of the things that I hear most often from our candidates is actually how our benefits are, and I quote, industry leading for organizations of our size, and I couldn't agree more. We're very proud to offer a benefits package that honors the well-being and growth of each individual person. Of course, we have all of the standard benefits that you're used to seeing, your health, your dental, your vision, but we have a few standout items that I wanted to touch on here today. We have unlimited flexible time off. The paid holidays isn't necessarily standout. It's a lot of holidays. It's 10 paid holidays. But the unlimited flexible time off really helps you kind of balance your work and personal life, which I personally appreciate and need. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that would echo that statement. We have a 401k with guaranteed employer contribution. And essentially what that means is that whether you're contributing or not to your 401k, Luster's contributing on your behalf to help you support your financial future. And you're always 100% vested in those funds. We also have something else we hear a lot about is training, and what's your training plan look like, what's your career development look like there. We actually have a formal career planning and development program that clearly outlines your own career map, so that you work with your supervisor on when you first get going. You can revisit it at any time. To that, we add an annual stipend for professional development and growth. Right now, it's sitting at about, I think it's $2,500 per year right now. But you can use that to attend conferences you're interested in, get that certification you've had your eye on, essentially anything to help yourself grow in your career. It's one thing that Luster greatly values, is continuous improvement, not only in our organization, not only in the projects that we work on, but also in yourself. We even have staff who've completed their degrees up to and including their doctorate degrees using the professional development program. Chuck touched on this earlier. We have a wellness program that is led by one of our owners, Sarah Luster. This provides free monthly classes on health and well-being, as well as free personalized meal planning and nutrition support services, and even a monthly stipend that you can use for health-related items. I actually use it for a couple of apps that I have on my phone. I have life can get stressful sometimes, so I have a meditation app on my phone, and I like to try to work out once in a while. Well, let's be real. It's on my phone, so I feel better if it's there. But anyway, I do use it occasionally, and it's nice that Luster values my health and well-being as much as I do. So I really love that benefit. But we also offer free personal financial planning assistance, hundreds of employee discounts, an employee assistance program, and that all important employee referral bonus program, which us in talent acquisition absolutely love when those referrals come in. I think you can kind of see that these extra things that we've added here really contribute and highlight how Luster supports the whole you, the whole person, the whole individual. And that really is the culture here at Luster National that we like to support. And the company does listen to its team members. For example, by popular demand this year, Luster added paid family leave, you'll notice there, to its benefits offering for maternal and paternal needs following the birth of a child. So that was pretty cool to see that get added to our list of benefits this year. And then another thing that candidates do talk to us about is when we're interviewing them is stability, and how just the nature of our work is project-based. And there's always kind of this in the back of your mind wondering, well, what happens if this project ends tomorrow? What happens if, right? Those what ifs. And it can be stressful, and that affects your daily work. That affects maybe your personal life to some extent. And being able to make plans and plan for the future. And so something that Luster is really, really good at is being able to redeploy you on projects when your project ends. We value our team members. So when you join us, you are an FTE of Luster. That means you're not ending when your project ends. We do everything in our power to redeploy you. And if we can't redeploy you, we'll find an internal project for you to work on until we can roll another project out for you. Now, we can't make any promises for that. Obviously, there are no, we don't have any employment contracts. We can't enter into anything like that. We can't make promises, but we've done a really good job of redeploying to other projects with Luster. So when you're here for the long haul. We do value stability as much as you do. And these all together are just a few of the ways that we strive to create a workplace where our team members can feel supported, valued, and empowered to succeed. So one example of that is one of our team members, Valencia. Valencia is a quality specialist on the GDOT MMIP program, and he recently took advantage of the professional development program and achieved his Six Sigma white belt. Not only that, he's the proud papa of son Aaron, pictured here with his high school graduation. Caleb, who's been taking music classes at the local college, and he's moving into his junior year in high school. Super excited about that. And his daughter Margot, who was recently selected for her elementary school's honor society. So what an amazing family of achievers, Valencia. Congratulations from Luster. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about applying for positions at Luster. So some of the types of positions that we fill, we primarily operate on the owner's side of the house in program management, construction management services, and it can be on deliverables basis or kind of a staff augmentation basis, depending on what our client needs require and dependent upon what the contract calls for. We look for positions like project managers, senior project managers. We have everything from like executive level all the way down to, somebody maybe just getting started in their career. We have project management, we have quality management, risk management. We work in project controls, program controls a lot. So we see schedulers, we see cost control, we see commercial managers. We see change management, all kinds of things. And that, again, a really diverse selection of positions that we are always looking for good candidates. If you are interested in working with Luster, but you don't see any matching opportunities, feel free to fill out one of our general applications. Thank you, Charles. He has just put the link into the chat for you. That general application lets us know that you're interested in working with Luster, but maybe there's not a current opening available. And that way you are in our pool for us to reach out to and say, hey, we got your information. We're super excited you're interested in working with us. But you could also review our current openings on our job board, and that's the best place to go to get up-to-date active information on the types of roles that we are looking for. So you can apply directly to those positions if you feel qualified for them, or you can, again, apply to that general application. And you can easily get to our careers page by visiting our website, either that link right there that Charles put in. Thank you again, Charles, you're the best, the Luster Job Board. Or you can visit our website at www.luster.com and click on careers.
All right. Thanks, Amber. Thank you, Charles. All right. That was a lot of information. Hopefully most of it was useful for you. At this time, we'd like to open it up for some questions now. And as a reminder, if you have questions about a specific position or your status in the hiring process, just go ahead and send an email to hiring, HIRING, @luster.com. All right, for questions, go ahead and just use your raise hand option in your meeting controls or paste your questions into the chat, and we'll call on you directly and then release your microphone and camera.
Okay, it looks like Marsh, you asked a question about remote positions. The positions, if they're going to be remote, it's noted on the job description itself. We are seeing a shift from the COVID times where we had a lot of remote opportunities. We are seeing a shift back to on-site, hybrid or on-site, but primarily we're seeing that shift back to on-site positions. So the remote positions are a little more rare than they have been over the last few years, but they do occur. One of the things that we do when we interview candidates is we talk about location preferences. It doesn't mean that you're not going to ever have a position that we could present to you if you note that you are a remote candidate. But I just want everybody to be aware that the remote opportunities that we've seen them decreasing.
Somebody asked also about our disaster recovery work. Yes, we participate and partner with FEMA in a lot of cases, Hurricane Sandy, and then down in Florida for the hurricanes down there as well. So we've partnered with FEMA for a number of years now and are a valued partner of theirs.
Awesome.
Any
Thank
positions?
you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chad, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah, somebody was asking if there's any positions available in New York City. Yes, that is where you'll find many of our positions across all different sorts of functions. Just keep an eye on our careers page at luster.com, and it's updated on a regular basis.
I also wanted to touch on that real quick too, that if you go to our job board, which I just pasted in the chat again for you, you can filter by location so that you could see only the jobs that we have up that are specific to the location that you're interested in. It's a really great feature that you can do with our job board.
Looks like we have a question from Daniel. Daniel, you should be able to go ahead and unmute your mic if you want to go ahead and ask the question.
Daniel is it Masliansky? Masliansky? I might have butchered your name and I apologize if I did. I did my best there. I think Charles released your controls so that you can unmute your mic and ask your question. We'll let you go ahead and work on that. If you're having challenges, please feel free to type that in the chat box and we can answer that way as well. PE and EIT license a requirement for program manager managerial roles. Also, is OSHA 10 or OSHA 30 a requirement when applying? So let me answer that question. PE and EIT licenses are not necessarily a requirement for any open position that we have. It varies dependent upon what the contract calls for, what the client is specifically requesting. we don't necessarily require those for all of our positions that may be deliverables based, but we do note it as a minimum qualification if it is required. You will always see it asked on our application, just like you'll always see the question about OSHA 10, OSHA 30. It'll ask about OSHA certifications, none of which are requirements when applying. Luster National does require OSHA 10 certification, but that is not required upon application. It's helpful if you already have it, but we're going to put you through that course and cover the costs of the certification, as it is a requirement for all of our staff if you're extended and accept an offer with Luster. So hopefully I answered that question okay, but if you need additional information, let me know.
Well stated.
Yep. Somebody said, what is the time of the recruitment process in your company? It varies depending on the urgency of the projects, workloads, things like that. As always, you can follow up with the hiring@luster.com email address, and we'll respond there.
Great, thanks, Chuck.
Yep.
I also see people talking about how they applied a while back and didn't hear back. So I just want to make sure you're all aware that our talent acquisition team was short-staffed for the first quarter of the year. And so you may have seen longer response times than normal. We are back to normal response time, so you should be getting responses to your applications. And they're usually coming through within 2 to 3 business days of your application time. Let's see, how much does experience matter? A lot of your jobs have 5 or more years of experience, but what if you're new to the industry? That's a really good question. Not all of our positions are going to require AEC experience. Some of them do, and that's not necessarily a requirement of Luster. It's a requirement of some of the projects and the contracts, the contract language. So it depends on, I hate to keep saying this, and I'm not trying to dodge the question, but it does heavily depend on what the contracts are calling for. We try to utilize emerging talent as much as possible. We do have our internship program. We try to utilize candidates that come from various industries, maybe oil and gas or pharmaceutical, to diversify, again, our team member base of experience and knowledge that they bring to the table. But it's not always possible to deploy various industry talent on all of our projects, but we do the very best that we can. Having said that, we are going to interview if you have the experience that we're looking for. Even if it looks like it might be a different industry, we're still going to talk to you. If it's like, for example, we're looking for a scheduler and the scheduler has experience in oil and gas and not transit, and that's what we happen to be looking for at that time. We're still going to interview you because we may have a project that comes through that doesn't require transit experience. So that hopefully that answered your question, but happy to dive into that a little bit more. Benicia, yes, this is being recorded. We are going to be posting it on YouTube after the conclusion. And Charles, I don't want to misstate, but are we sending the link out or posting that somewhere?
Yes, we posted on our YouTube page for everyone to be able to view, and it's publicly viewable for everyone. So then we can provide the YouTube link as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Someone asked
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
If relocation is required, will the company cover moving expenses or provide a lump sum relocation allowance? Typically, for most of our positions, the company does not cover relocation. If somebody chooses to relocate to accept a job, that's perfectly fine. As a small family-run company, we just don't have that in our budgets for relocation. So it's up to the candidate to take on the relocation costs themselves.
I do want to throw in one small caveat to that, though. If the contract has it written that it will cover the cost of relocation, or for certain very, 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 very difficult positions to fill, Luster may look at covering the costs of relocation in certain circumstances. But Chuck is right for the most part. If a candidate is relocating, they typically relocate themselves. But if we require you to relocate after you've accepted a position, absolutely, we're going to, jump in and help with all of those costs if we make it a requirement of your position. Hopefully that answered that question. Lots of really great questions. Thank you. Keep those coming. We got about 6 minutes left, and we're going to keep answering right up to the end. And if you have additional questions, I just want to throw it out there. You can email those always to hiring@luster.com, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. Let's see. Benicia asked, do you have a well-being coordinator? I don't think we do have a well-being coordinator on staff at the moment. That program is actually led by one of our owners, Sarah Lester, and I don't believe that she has any assistance at this time that I'm aware of.
Here's a
Hey.
question. Is it possible to hire anyone from abroad?
The answer to that question is yes. We actually had somebody that relocated to the U.S. from the UK. And they started on one of our programs in, I think it was California High Speed Rail. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was California High Speed Rail is the program that they started on. But yes, we have hired people from abroad. I think that might be a different question than what you might be asking too, though. So I'm going to touch on H-1B visas. Luster does not sponsor H-1B visas at this time.
And then Daniel Mazliansky asked, will there be a co-op position available, preferably in New York City? I'm going to defer that one to Amber.
Is there anybody I can defer to? No, I'm totally kidding. I'm not quite sure, Daniel, what you mean by co-op position. Maybe you could provide additional clarification on that. And then I'm happy to answer that for you. Benicia, yes, you're so welcome. If she does need assistance, we'll be looking in our applicant tracking system to see if we have anybody that has that experience. So please make sure you apply to the general application so that we have your information handy when it's time. Okay. Thank you, Princess. We appreciate that. Okay.
Definitely.
Other questions? We're going to go ahead and hang out for the remaining 3 minutes just in case. But if you have to leave, we totally understand. We really appreciate you joining us today for this careers presentation. We are going to have a video shortly. Now, I guess we could probably show that in the remaining few minutes of the presentation. And then we'll keep answering questions in the chat. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
We are Luster. Imagine joining a company built on principle. A company crafted to be family. A company that values community, sustainability, and the challenges of the future. A company that stands up. Luster is that company. 33 years in, Luster National Inc. is a force in the AEC industry. And we want you to join us. Luster is a strategic consulting and program management firm that is ISO 9001 to 2015 certified. Our focus is roads and bridges, transit, aviation, and healthcare projects.
I wanted to create an organization built on 3 pillars: client focus, ethics, and social responsibility. And what we've been able to do collectively with all the wonderful people that I work with is we have created a company that is a value add to our teaming partner and our clients, and it gives a great sense of community for the folks that work at Luster.
After completing my PhD in sociology at Harvard, I'm just so appreciative of the opportunities I've had at Luster to be working with folks who are so smart, so kind, so thoughtful, with such different backgrounds and skill sets.
And to pick up right here with Luster on the GDOT program, MMIP program, has been one of the best things that I can actually say has happened to me in these last few years.
Working with Luster National means I get to work with the most elite and top-tier professionals in the construction industry today.
I was blessed to be able to have this role at Luster where I can balance my home life and work, stay connected in the industry. I feel respected and appreciated by our teammates.
Luster National has proven to be the type of firm that will do whatever's necessary to make you as an individual successful.
The impact that they had on my career and the development, and really the trust and the opportunities with Luster, I think, are endless.
Because Luster is a small company and is continually evolving, then you have the ability to explore new avenues of growth that you may not have at larger companies.
The firm is engaged with people as individuals. You don't feel like just a number. And the focus of the firm is much more on what can Luster do for the employees, not what the employees can do for the firm.
Luster's a perfect blend of big business and family run. Luster's wellness, Luster's future, and Luster's personal development. Luster's working every day to make a positive difference.
We're a rapidly growing company, and Luster satisfies a deep need in me to serve and help others, including our clients.
Luster gives me an opportunity to build projects in the community that I love and that I grew up in.
Love the fact that I work for a company where the owner knows my name.
The thing that is so special about Luster is that it just really feels like home. Everyone has each other's back and is there for one another. I know that if I called any Luster team member, they would pick up immediately and do anything they can to help.
Luster is looking for the best and the brightest to join our team. Contact us and tell us about your Luster. Tell us about you.
All right, even though that video was created a couple of years ago, it's a fantastic piece of work, and everything in it still applies today, except that we're now 35 years in business. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at our next event in December. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.